dtick is the global simulation frame. Let's get into it. The frames per second will be hard-coded to 30 frames per second. Disallowed variables. The actual dtick is in either the Node.js or not Node.js context, so all contexts. The target milliseconds, so there's frames per second, and there's also milliseconds per frame. How many milliseconds have to pass by? So we take 1,000, which is 1 millisecond, divide by the frames per second to get that target milliseconds value. Some tags, some other notes. Okay, so right here, we are going to declare some variables we need to work with. This is the timestamp before we do work, timestamp after we do work, the elapsed millisecond between those timestamps, and whatever time is left over. When we use the request animation frame, we're going to use this value. And actually, we're not using request animation frame anymore. This is the time the game will start at, so that we can backdate timestamps that are encoded in tile values. We've modified this to use integer math rather than floating point math. The tick function looks like it has a lot in it. It really doesn't. We just increment the simulation frame. We take our snapshot. We do our work. We see how much time has elapsed by taking this second snapshot and taking the delta. And whatever is left over is going to be the delay before we call the looping function again. And we're just going to keep on looping here, calling ourselves, and then calling this tick function. And the tick function does the work and keeps track of its performance. And that's all. There's some other things, but if you want to check them out, you can just go here and check out the code.